Boom. Now I'm here. Click. Now I'm here. Boom. Now I'm here.
Now I'm here.
Boom. Now I'm here. All right, what's up, everybody? Now I'm here. Welcome to Bookmarked. This is Richie O'Reilly. Let's get right into it. All right, today, in case you missed it, we're going to start with a story that probably ruined your week like it did mine, the Big Baby highlight tape. I just have a couple questions here. What the hell has this kid been eating? Why is he so scary? And when did Alabama offer him a scholarship? Because you know it's already happened. This kid's terrifying. Next, is Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay limited? Brett Favre certainly seems to think so after the Packers drafted Jordan Love, surprisingly, in the first round last week, saying, quote, he was surprised they went in that direction. I think Aaron will finish his career somewhere else. That's my gut. According to one AFC coach, the Packers drafted Jordan Love in the first round in part to send Aaron Rodgers the message that we run this, not you. Because everybody knows one way to handle a franchise quarterback that's carried you and dragged you for years is to just piss him right off. Let's all have a moment of silence here for this next story. The Little League World Series will not be taking place this year. Unfortunately, we won't get to see strikeout calls on pitches that bounced, or kids giving unnecessary high fives after giving up an absolute nuke, or even 16-year-olds pretending that they're 12. But in all seriousness, this is a bummer. As one friend described it to me, this was his favorite week of the year because opening weekend he would get hammered with his dad and watch some 12-year-olds love baseball. It's a shame. I hope we get to see you come back soon because this is a pure form of love of the sport. This last one certainly requires some dedication. Teddy Bridgewater Land, Desert, Air, Prairie, Sky, Mountain biked 75 miles the other day for around 5 hours of working out. I mean, that's some dedication to the grind right there. But my big question here, Teddy, how the hell did you get home? In case you missed it. All right, retweet or delete. It's time to play some games. The first one here involves a little bit of controversy. People have said that the NFL has been taking cues from the XFL social media, and I'm retweeting this because it's true. Bailey Carlin, the former head of the XFL social media and a meme wizard himself, said the other day on Twitter, quote, it's wild to see absolutely every NFL team take a hard turn toward exactly what the XFL was doing on social. No issues. It's the right and smart move. Best social media professional sports league ever had or will have. And for those of you who followed, you will know it was excellent. So it's not a shame to say the teams are doing what the XFL did. But one NFL social media manager in particular did have an issue with this. At the end of the day, here's what I think we need to agree on. It's not a bad thing that teams are adapting based on what other teams have done in the past. Let's look at some of these examples that I'll put in the description here. The Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Falcons. These are just some videos that I've handpicked, just going through their accounts. These are excellent examples of what social media should be these days. It's meme-worthy, it's current, it's topical, it's funny. This is what people should be doing. It's always good to learn from this. Bailey, I'm on your side here. I'm retweeting this. The XFL laid the groundwork for some changes in social media, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Next one, NBA Central tweeted that Mark Berman of the New York Post says he will never rule out LeBron James playing for the Knicks in the future. Quote, James has said the Garden is his favorite arena to play in. A lot depends not just on how his Lakers title journey pans out, but his son Bronny's timetable.
How dare you? How dare you say such a thing? That is insanity.
I'm deleting this and I'm not wasting any more time on this. So instead, I'm retweeting this awesome video of LeBron James art that must have taken hours to put all these Rubik's Cubes together. I'm also going to retweet the Space Jam logo that recently came out. And I'm not going to touch the rest of the story. Moving on. Next one, this workout. Delete. What the hell is this? What is this guy doing? First of all, how do you think he came up with this? Did he show up at the gym with this in mind saying, okay, I'm gonna do my Superman cross jump elbow breakers today? Do you think other people do this with him? Does he have a trainer that taught him how to do this? The one takeaway from this that I will say needs to be adapted elsewhere is the concentration of this guy next to him. I mean, I wish I had that level of focus to not look over one time. Good for that guy. Not good for whatever the hell this workout is. Delete. This is another classic example of my generation versus your generation. Mike Wilbon says that KD and LeBron wouldn't dominate in the 80s and 90s. Well, there's no one now who would have dominated in the 80s and 90s. Okay, here's my thing. It's okay to not know how to compare generations. But anytime we have these conversations, we need to remember that MJ did not have the analytical knowledge that we have today about three-pointers. So if you dropped him in today's game, he's not shooting as many three-pointers as he should. But if you give MJ the chance to adapt his game, maybe he is. This is the thing that you don't know, that it doesn't really work going generation to generation. The one thing that I will say that I think is a really dumb argument is the physicality argument. LeBron James is 6'8", 250 of pure muscle. Look at this guy. You're telling me he couldn't handle himself physically? Yes, the game is different and attacking the rim is different. MJ admitted in this documentary that he didn't lift weights for the first couple of years of his career. LeBron James is pure muscle. Don't come at me with these physicality takes. I don't like comparing eras, but I definitely don't like thinking that players couldn't adapt to the different eras because of their size or the different styles of play. If we gave players time to adapt, who knows what they would be. I'm deleting this take. Time to get into the Explore page and check out where the different sports leagues are with their status of COVID-19. We're going to be quick here today. MLB, Bob Kaplish reported that baseball could return in late June, early July, with a reduction in regular season games. Honestly, that's not a bad thing overall because this is something MLB has talked about in the past, maybe experimenting with different season lengths. Kershaw himself, after saying he was hesitant to quarantine away from his family, has even come out saying he's optimistic. This is all good news coming out of baseball, and I hope we get to see baseball sooner rather than later. NASCAR is back May 17th. And to the NBA, Woj is reporting that the 2020-21 NBA season could potentially start in December and extend through late July and August, which means the current season needs to be handled with enough time to allow players to have an off season, so we will see. One person definitely not in favor of canceling the season is LeBron James, saying, quote, "Nobody I know is saying anything like that about canceling the season. As soon as it's safe, we would like to finish our season. I'm ready and our team is ready. Nobody should be canceling anything." It sounds like everybody wants to play. If we can get this season in with enough time to allow for a December start, let's do it. I want to see some basketball. Okay, the NFL. Adam Schefter reported that the NFL is planning to release its schedule by the end of the week, so this will happen by the time this video comes out. They are saying they're remaining adaptable to the CDC recommendations, but I do think this is positive and we should be moving forward, hopefully, with an NFL season. Essentially, there's a lot of positivity coming out about the promise of playing sports soon. This is good news. Okay, we're playing it forward now. Looking at some of the best moments off the court, off the field, all the different times that it's more than a sport. Starting with Roger Goodell reducing his salary from $40 million to $0. Yes, here come the annoying, oh, I think he's gonna be okay with all the other millions he has. Forget that for a second. This guy just gave up $40 million. That's a lot of freaking money, and I hope it's going to the right place. Roger Goodell, good for you. This is the right move. Now, this next one is one of those that I'm almost glad there's not a video for me to see because I think I would probably tear up immediately. Trey Mancini, who was recently diagnosed with colon cancer, is going to have to sit out this season. Now, this is extremely sad as he's a promising player and he's just a human being that we'd like to see succeed. But his teammates came to his aid here, supporting him with some simple messages, showing they have his back. And this is something that, gets me a little emotional. This is what you like to see. This is what the team is all about. And I love seeing this. Winners and losers, wrapping it up here. Loser, stability at the quarterback position. We have had a ton of movement in the past couple weeks. Jameis Winston going to the Saints, a team he's familiar throwing the ball to. He's had 10 completions to the Saints as compared to the other Saints quarterback, Taysom Hill, with 7, except Jameis has never played for the Saints. Not sure who that says more about, but Jameis is signing a 1-year, $1 million contract with $148,000 as a signing bonus, and people have been quick to point out that's not a ton of money when you compare it to what other deals players are getting, like Taysom Hill, who just got 2 years, $21 million with $16 million guaranteed, and Andy Dalton, who just signed with the Cowboys for 1 year, $7 million. Now, that's not the only reason people are interested in the Cowboys signing the Red Rifleman, Andy Dalton. Des Bryant was one of the many who pointed out that the Cowboys were quick to pay Andy and not so quick to pay Dak Prescott, their franchise quarterback, saying, quote, "Nothing against Andy Dalton because I think he's a great player." Des, that's what I'm talking about. But the Cowboys are extremely out of line. Pay Dak. I watched the Cowboys pay Tony twice without a winning record. Ouch. I guess the Cowboys are viewing the QB position a plug-in piece because of that dominant offense. He's kind of got a point here. They're willing to pay the backup, who's likely not going to see a ton of time. A lot of people have said the Cowboys maybe should have paid Dak by now. The Cowboys aren't the only team catching some flack. Chicago Bears managed to get wrapped up in this after all these different deals went down because they traded a 4th-round pick for Nick Foles, something that they probably didn't have to do given all the talent on the quarterback market. They spent a lot of money on him too. Now, a move that the Bears are not getting criticized for is not picking up Mitch Trubisky's 5th-year option. Seems kind of like a no-brainer until he proves he can be a consistent quarterback. But as a quick wrap-up, here's something that's going to make your brain hurt. Tom Brady is a Buccaneer, Phillip Rivers is a Colt, Andy Dalton is a Cowboy, Nick Foles is a Bear, Jameis Winston is a Saint, Teddy Bridgewater is a Panther, Marcus Mariota is a Raider, and Cam Newton has no team. That is a wild offseason. Next, winner, viewership. As we're sitting around with nothing else to do, people are starting to watch more content, and that's clear with the numbers here. I'm talking specifically ESPN's The Last Dance and the NFL Draft. The Last Dance is as good as it gets right now. People are really bullish on this show. As you can see by the numbers, the first 4 episodes averaged 6 million viewers, marking ESPN's 4 most viewed original content broadcasts since 2004. That's not too bad. And to people my generation, even if you're not a basketball fan, even if you're not a Bulls fan, you should be watching yourself and educating yourself on this, because this is one of the greatest athletes who ever lived. Now more than ever is a time to learn. Let's learn about MJ so we can now have these MJ LeBron debates and annoy everybody else. The NFL draft also killed it. If you haven't watched our draft reactions, you should do so, because we capture all the reasons why it was honestly pretty great. But here are the numbers to back that up. Average audience of 8.4 million viewers, which is 35% more than last year. That's not too shabby. 55 million total viewers and 100 million raised to benefit COVID-19 relief efforts. This isn't super shocking. Everyone's together in one place and dying for live content that everybody can talk about at the same time. But it's still a good sign for the NFL, and I do think there's plenty that they can draw upon from this. I think this was a success, and the numbers will clearly point to that as well. Okay, wrapping up here with a loser, amateurism. This was a big week for young athletes. Top high school basketball recruits really set the tone for what was to be coming this past week. We had Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd choose the G League over college. Then Daishen Nix decommitted from UCLA to go to the G League. And Kyrie Walker announced he's doing a skill development program instead of going to college. As somebody who was involved in college athletics, I fully understand the impact that college athletics has on people. But I will also say that for kids who are likely going to school for 1 year, taking a couple classes that they're not really invested in, this is an excellent opportunity. If somebody's going to hand you $300,000 to play basketball, it kind of makes a lot of sense, especially, this is the part that I really want to emphasize, they're getting money to go back to school as scholarships later. This is a good move, and people are pointing this out. Wilson Chandler, NBA player, said, quote, "NCAA, you're too late. Should have been letting players get paid for their likeness. If I'm a top prospect, I'm going to the G League. Why not?" Maybe the NCAA has caught wind of this recent trend because they started to make some different changes on their end as well. The NCAA's governing body said it supports a proposal to allow athletes to sign endorsement contracts and receive payments for other work. Other work being social media, businesses, and player personal appearances. Now, this would be for 2021-22, so this wouldn't be an immediate change. The only person who's not super happy about this is Joe Burrow, because he just missed out on a ton of money, but I do think this is a good positive step. Everyone's first thought was immediately NCAA football video games. Please bring them back. But unfortunately, they will not be coming back. According to Big East president Val Ackerman, as she said, the student athletes aren't in a union, so this really isn't workable, which is a total shame because that game was incredible. I guess for now, we'll just have to settle for Coach Doug's and his offensive prowess. That was Winners and Losers. This was Bookmarked. As always, stay tuned for more content coming weekly. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or if you even want to come on the show and talk sports with me, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Stay bookmarking.